Y'all can go ahead on in. Watch your step going in there. There's a step.
Go that way.
This way.
Okay, so the return visit today to a long-awaited visit to the Rathole division, run and operated by Mr. Walter Rieger. Lots and lots of changes since the last video. Okay, the control panels, this is CMRI. It is completely block detected, signaled. You can see the panels. Walter's very technically capable of doing, he spent his whole life in electronics, so this railroad is 100% CTC operational. Okay. The switch machines, okay.
Yeah, it's
That's the control for the various switch machines. The last time I was here, none of this was scenic. Okay. Track was in, but I don't think the yard track was in. Okay. This is new scenery. I don't know, so we have a name here, okay. L-A-N-C-I-N-G, Lansing, is the control point. To work these switches, if you're in an operating session, you have to have a key. Just like you unlock the switch stand, well, you got to have a key. If you don't have a key, then the only way you're getting a switch thrown is by the dispatcher. Okay. Lots of things have been done since the last time we videoed here. South Stennis, North Helenwood. Okay. These tracks, follow this one, okay. This is coming out of a helix here. All right. This is CW Tower. This was not finished last time I was here. Now, we go around here. One of the major pieces, and I'll have to wait till we get some people out of the way, but this is the New River Bridge over here. Now, I've had some scenery shots on this before, but this is one end of the railroad. He's got the drapes in now, so I'm going to just tell you that underneath here is staging. That's what this helix does. You come through here, you go into that helix, and that helix goes in. You see a train coming right now. That train is going to go into staging. Now it's coming out of staging, and it will come up the helix and then appear on the layout. I'm trying to figure out where it is, but if I home in on this, that's the cameras in the staging area. Okay, these are cameras on the staging area. I remember Walter telling me he was collecting all these cameras from jobs he did that didn't work anymore so he could use them on his railroad. The things we do and the things we did, and then we found out, oh well, that didn't work anyway, so we had to go plan B. And then you could go out and buy home security camera systems that were dirt cheap, that had endless cameras in them. So, and this is all part of the first place you come to when you come on a railroad, which is Oakdale. Okay, Oakdale Yard. Okay, and one thing he did, he and Mike Walsdorf are big on this. They have the actual pictures of what it was. I'm sure everywhere we as model railroaders have to make compromises, but you can get very close to what you need to. Another example right there, and I don't know if I can get to where I can actually show it. As the road climbs up, you see here, the hill, and it goes into off to the back. And it seems like it goes on forever through that area. That's a mirror. Okay? Effective use of a
There is all of the controls for this, and these are the two main lines right here. Just like it is at the real Danville in Kentucky, okay? All of the turnouts on this side of the main lines are located along the lower edge of the fascia, and all of the turnouts on that side of the main line are located high.
Oh, okay.
And they're all in line with the turnouts that they control. In other words, this one is this one here, or this here.
Oh, the light color indicates the throttle
Right.
position. Very nice.
Green for normal and red for reverse, which allows the operator of the yard to just glance down along the fascia and look at his position of his turnouts. And then all of the local turnouts are controlled that way. All of the other controls for turnouts that intersect the main line are controlled by panels here, which are interlocked with the CPC panel. And they're all locked, except for these at the yard, okay? Now, I can't throw any of these turnouts here until the locks are unlocked. Everybody gets a key when you come to operate. This is obviously a two-track main line, so in order to throw, let's say, this crossover right here, I have to unlock both of the main lines, and now I can throw that turnout right there.
You built these boxes? Where'd you get the screen?
Those are done with, I had that done at a printer.
Okay.
It's becoming increasingly difficult to find something like that, so it was a couple of years ago I decided to go ahead and have them all done at one time. I was doing a piece at a time. I have it, you know, they have a printer over there that prints out this stuff for offset printing. You know, they print a negative to expose the printing plates, and then that's how they print offset printing. But that, you know, with all of the digital stuff nowadays, that's becoming passe, you know. The only people that I know of that does it, and I think he's still doing it, is this place in Elmwood, offset printing on Pepsi. He does it. It costs.
Is this glass?
That's all. That's film right there. It's the reverse side of the film.
Okay.
So it's exposed on the back. The emulsion is on the back.
Okay.
So you got this clear plastic here, which is the film, so you can't scratch it. This thing.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice.
7 years. I had rudimentary programming there just to get up the change aspect and the trains would go by. But I just got finished building the CTC machine in there, which I'll show you a little later. And you have to reprogram everything.
You use a CMRI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm using the CMRI is the hardware and the JMRI is the software.
It's important to say that he's putting it back into the computer in JMR. The CMRI is the hardware that actually runs the lights and the block detection. And in your case, it's not running the switches, huh?
Everything is run by the computers.
Yeah, okay. The switch is, okay, you're sending a command from your switch. In other words,
Throw a switch here, it sends a command to the computer, the computer crunches on it.
yeah. All right, it's the same as I do it. It's just,
Crunches on it and decides whether it's okay to do it. It won't throw the turnout if there's a train on the turnout or if the signals won't allow it or whatever.
yeah. So your switches are controlled by the computer also.
Everything goes through the computer except for the local control turnouts, okay? They're just by themselves. There's no reason for that.
Yeah, big difference.
You're supposed to do a crew change here.
Yeah, crew change. Okay. That's what you call short on the clock.
Yeah, hopefully they jump on.
Yeah. We're still running. No, we got past the fireman here. We just got an engineer and a conductor. They haven't reached one engineer in a cab yet. We're going to stand back and avoid as much close-up because you're not going to get the panoramic view of this layout if I start getting too close. I guess I have to ask you, do you know how long you've been collecting, but do you think you have enough cars to fill it up the way you want it?
No.
No.
You know, you had all of that and blue box kits when I got started back in the 70s and the 80s. And those are gradually working their way out. Most of my trains, you know, are going to be run through. So
Yeah.
that's what all of these cars are. I mean, you know, that's all of those expensive ones with all of the detail on them. So if you do any switching, you don't want those cars out there doing that. When you finally get around to doing the local job, then that's where I'm going to stick all of the blue box kits out there so you get it
Now, this comes into the category of some of the areas being for construction design. Some of the areas in this layout come into the category of being a mushroom layout. I'll try to point them out to you because you can't see it in many cases. And I'll kind of explain it to it when we go by the areas. So,
all of the controls are marked by blue lights. They're plugging on the side instead of straight up. Not this open.
I didn't know where to go next.
it's going to come out the tunnel right here. I'll go up a helix at the end. Now, in a little while, I'm going to say, this is the backside of another yard up at top. So, okay. Okay, there goes Dave. So anyway, the train comes here underneath at one level, and then right above it in the area which you see in black, there's another level of the railroad facing the other way.
It goes to the side. If you're right-handed, hold the thing in your hand
And
with the thing on your thumb.
another way. Now, all this is very, very prototypical. I could point out things that I know that he's shown me over the years where he had to make some minor changes, but very prototypical. Now, when you may have noticed the blue lights where you plug the controller in, those are not standard NCE UPT panels. Those are, I think, AT&T, or he might have made them. But you'll notice right here, a light lit up on that panel. If I sit here and watch this long enough, you notice now the next light's lit up. This is a helix, okay? In that, behind that wall in the corner. And it eventually lights at the bottom will go out, and you say now, the next light will come on, and it tells you where you are in the helix. Now, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to turn off and pick up where it comes out.
And for the most part, you know, even though you design everything on computer, when you start laying things out, it doesn't look right, or you want to move it a little bit. So the track, you know, I got a printed track plan, which some people wanted to see, but it doesn't fit exactly, so, that's just the way things are when you're constructing. He's got about another loop to come up, Art.
Okay. Believe me, the editor's floor, it's full of scraps.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah, I'm in the process
Shows the
of
progress of the train going up the
finishing
hills.
this off. This should have been done by now, but I lost 6 months, with all of the damage we had from the storm. So
Yeah.
everything gets pushed back all of the time. But hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have this finished off like that section over there, and then I'm moving that way.
Headed north. Yeah. Walter's house was hit by Hurricane Ida. And I do have some photographs of the two or three trees. Three trees that hit the house dead center. Big pine trees. Lots of damage. So, fortunately no one was hurt and we recovered. So, I guess that's the important thing in life. We learn to move on. The trees hit the living part of the house, not where the trains are. For certain reasons, I will not show the exterior. It's just, let it go at that. And just say, this is a house, everything's on one slab, but the train room is on one end of the property and the house is on the other end. The house, the trees came down. I gotta ask a question here. Dave, go one way or come this way? Either one way. So, on this end of the railroad is probably right now the scenic piece of the railroad that is the masterpiece, is the New River Bridge. I watched this being built. I have several videos and I have some still photographs of the construction of this. This is to scale exactly for what exists. It's one of those things I've seen in this hobby that is truly gets into the area which you classify as spectacular. The scale, New River Bridge. This is scaled down to the inch, people. It's exact. Now, you gotta ask Walter one question.
Not the Rathole, I'm all the L&M Cumberland Valley between Portland, Kentucky and out to Harwood.
Walter, what's the era?
1981.
1981.
And lately I've been narrowing it down to
The fall,
I rode the train out of
1981 is the era here. This is a picture of the actual New River Bridge.
It was a scenic ride about 10
There's a couple of nice videos on YouTube of the New River bridges exist. A couple of people did some rail fanning out there, which give you an idea just what an accomplishment this is.
So what's the size of the
So,
railroad?
again, I do have some pictures of this during the construction. Down to include the rivets on the kind of plates,
I had the builder says
the handrails
30 feet 8 inches.
around the towers. The deck is
telling us that it's so big and complex, I would put eggs in.
Yeah, there's some
Like,
things I should put as far as.
how to get out of
How
here.
to get out of here. That was the whole theme of this, you know, to allow you to stuff to get lost. So you can't see where you're at and where you've been, you know, you're from 20s. And it became, you know how Southern operated with whole subsidiaries, you know, for corporate purposes, whatever it is. That's a whole subject in itself. But, they required the
Your head's getting light. You see, the train came up this, it was down here and went up the helix, and you see right there, it's in the last loop of the helix. All the cars have detectors on the wheels. Now, this, in the beginning stages of scenery. Sure, if I come back here another year, this scene will be foliaged and ground covered and so forth. But this is a kind of intermediate part of the stage of the scene. Walt has done these trees where he's bought the stuff and spent elaborate amount of time putting more foliage on them, dipping them in glue, putting foliage, spray painting them to the right colors. This is a momentous task on this railroad because of the area and where the scenery is. This is all new, all been done. Let's get a good example of how much foliage. I mean, you can see his worksheet boards down here on the bottom. Styrofoam boards with the trees on them. You get into stages when you're doing this, and you go into the tree building and painting stage, and you may spend a whole week or 2 weeks putting stuff like this together, and then you start working on scenes. Kind of wait to go down there and follow this when the train comes back around.
All of the staging yards down here, they have a complete loop, right? They run around a complete loop. And so you can run continuously. Now when you get into the loop, you have the panel. Southern used GRS equipment rather than US&S equipment.
Okay.
The real dispatches panel on the Rathole or on the CNO and TP was at Somerset, Kentucky, which is like midway between Cincinnati and Chattanooga. And the real panel, if you ever saw a picture of it, was like, man, it had like about 125 stations on it. I mean, the thing was enormous, about 15, 16 feet long. They used 2 dispatches during the daytime and 1 at night. They replaced this panel in the late 80s and went to a newer system, a GRS Traffic Master system, the one with the keyboard on it and all of that stuff. But they used this one. This was the one that they used in the entire Southern era. This is a prototype from a GRS manual that I used as my model for a K-type machine. So it's modeled after that. Now I'm still in the process of programming everything, so all of the turnouts I can control from here. You know, you usually used to see in the US&S machines with the lights on the thing to show turnout position and signal clearing. GRS didn't do that. For turnout control, they used this type of, they have a 90-degree indexing rather than a 60-degree indexing. And they also have a system where they have what's called an auto correspondence light. So when you throw the lever to a different position, say I want to throw the turnout at Coleman over here to a normal position. If I throw it in a normal position, this light lights up and it shows that the switch is now out of correspondence with the turnout in the field. So if you send a command by pushing the code button, oh wait, I gotta kill that light. Let me just do a different one, because it won't throw the turnout if the signal is cleared in this direction. It's just the way it's programmed right now. I can do this one right here at Robbins. And so you get it's sending the command out to the field, it's receiving the command back from the field, and it's crunching on it, it throws the turnouts, and the light goes out. You see? So now the switch is reversed in the field, so it's set up for this way right here.
Now, is that all solid state or is that computerized?
Was the real thing solid state?
No, the real thing was relay.
Was relays,
Relays,
right?
okay.
I'm assuming you built solid state, not
Well-
relays, because I didn't hear relays clicking.
Well, I got the sound of the relays clicking, maybe you didn't hear them.
Yeah, I heard something.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's-
missed that.
But that's just computer. You know?
Okay.
You mean it's not Gene Geiger's?
No, I don't know all of that. I mean, look, there's a whole subculture out there
Yeah.
where people just like to model CTC machines and piss on the railroad. You know, I mean, they just go at it crazy. You know. Yeah. Well, mine is all. I use CMR Bruce Chubb's CMRI hardware for all
Okay.
of this stuff. Okay. And this is what it looks like. That's the node itself. It's comprised of a SUSIC card, and these are all of the input and output cards that can. You got output cards for all of the lights and everything, and then you got input cards for all of the switches. That's one of the nodes on my railroad. I have 7 of them around the railroad.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a.
Yeah, that's a massive project just unto itself.
I'm going to ask a question I already know the answer to, but I'm going to ask it for the video. All of your decoder cards, like your block detection, your switch machines, your signals, did you make the boards or did you buy them?
I bought the blank boards from Bruce Chubb, and then I assembled them all, and
Okay.
you know, I obtained all of the components from different electronic suppliers like Mousa and Janko and DigiKey.
Just a point, Meg, there are ways to reduce some of your costs on some of this if you want to get to this extent. Because I know with one of the local clubs, they actually did everything but the master boards. They built them all themselves.
Now the staging is over here on this side.
This is all the staging.
And you can see I got closed circuit cameras monitoring all of the staging tracks. This is the north end over there on that side. This over here is the south end. The first block that you come into right here is the helixes, and they light up when the trains go through the tracks. What I have in here is photo sensors on all of the staging tracks. So
Oh, okay. So you don't have resistors on all your wheel sets, it's just done by photo, you do?
no, yeah. But what the photo sensors are for at the end of the staging track is the train reaches its proper staging position. It shuts the power off and the train stops automatically.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what the red indicators right there that you see. There's 3 trains over there in broad staging right now. And the red indicates that the power is off for those tracks. A couple of things, there's still some pieces left that I gotta find. I mean, right now I'm waiting for somebody to make a Southern Railway main window caboose, okay? And I'm hoping Tangent does it, okay?
The ones that are out there are not prototype for some.
The only prototypical ones that have been produced are either brass ones, which I have a few, or they had a company called Right Track, which produced some resin kits, but those are like chore to assemble, you know, and I don't have the time to do that kind of stuff. I've built 4 of them, I've got another 8 of them. I'm hoping that somebody will come out with this. And then the other thing I have to resolve is the wireless controls. I mean, I have the wireless set up over here, but I haven't been using it, number one, because I don't run the railway that often myself.
this is, you know, the other half of the railroad. You know, he's working on the scenery. This is going to circle back around and go into the Danville yard. Unfortunately, I missed that we were off looking at the control panel when he went through the scenic section, so we'll have to go up there and video that. Maybe we'll get another train running through this, and we can redo it. Now, again, here you get to get an idea of some of the controls. The curtains aren't up. I mean, you have power transformers there, all the cards. I don't know exactly what those cards do, or block detection, whatever. Nodes. He has 7 nodes on the railroad, so that could be because that's circuit board cards. This is Junction City. I think everybody had Junction City. Okay. Obviously, with the tracks coming in from other places in the scene, we have a reason to call it Junction City. And this was the L&N interchange. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is where the L&N hooked up with the Southern in South Danville. Okay. And this is the Danville yard.
Well, we find it always, no matter how you start, you always end up with everybody.
Now, this is a little thing, and this is me. I bought all the signals to put in since I could do this now with the JMRI system, and since NCE came up with a light, I can add it to mine to put the signals in, and I bought it. But the problem I have in an operating layout, and mine is heavy switching, is then I have to do this to protect the signals. That's what this is for. People's hands get in, and if you don't do something to protect your signals, we have a local club who had the solution that the actual signal was a magnet, and they had the wires extended underneath it, so if you hit the signal, it actually just broke loose from the magnet and would fall over. And you could stand it up, put it back in place. But they're going to get hit if you don't do things like this to protect them. And again, this whole section of the railroad guts is completed. Love all the grass, believe me. This is today this is done with the static electric grass, which is fantastic. You know, in my lifetime, the things that have come along and improved the hobby in so many ways, and then there are certain things that have gone away that like we just talked about Walter trying to find cabooses. You know, cabooses aren't run anymore, so people, and there's nowhere near the manufacturers of various cars and stuff that there used to be, so you can't get it. Now, I'm going to go over something else here. This railroad. He said he drew up the design for the layout in 1991, revised it in 1998. I know construction on this started after the turn of the century, because I was here when this part of the building was being put up. But notice the light system. Oh, gee, Walter and I were all cooking this up at about the same time, and we were out looking for it and ended up with the ceramic light fixtures. Mine a little bit different. And originally, you know, we were going to do the CF regular standard incandescent light bulbs, and then CFI came along, and these are all LED. This is the same type of LEDs I'm using. And like I've done in many videos about it, I would not use that those fixtures, and none of that would be 110 up there. That's full 110 voltage. if it wouldn't be for the fact that it was already there. Okay. So, and here's a signal. You're going to have to know where this signal is if you're an operator. Okay. Really nice. Okay. Really nice setup. Again, possibilities for a mirror there, but it'd be tough. You don't have anything up above to cover the top of the mirror to make it disappear. The old branch, the old switch that went off into someplace. This kind of detail, people, that really makes the model railroad. Don't know what, there's probably purpose here, but Walter's not around to ask him, but it's detailed. There's all your signals. And of course, scenery here, and then the scenery changes over to, we're working on the scenery. Again. Have to ask him about that bridge. Curved track. Okay. For charcoal. Okay, so this is a service place in the industry. Now, again, and we're going to catch this because I heard it coming. This is staging tracks. Okay. That was the train you watched. Now it turns around. There's a big loop back here, I know that. Now, I'll tell you this. Hold on, you see right there, this is where the loop starts. So he can loop this and send it back into staging coming out in the right direction. Okay? Now, I will tell you this, Walter bought all the track for all the staging a long time ago. It's all Atlas Code 100 track. Okay? He, like me, I think realized at one point in time when we went out and bought a ton of stuff. The Code 83 track he's got, and I know all that Atlas track he has down at the bottom was bought. So he made the loop down there, and now it's coming back, and it will go into the staging yard at Danville, or it may run back all the way to the other side of the road. And this is the scenery production area again. Believe me, doing the scenery is so important because it's the end picture everybody sees. And now I have to ask him which bridge this is. It says Burnside. So we have another big bridge to go. This is North Somerset. A lot of work's been done on this railroad since I saw the last video of it. Right, you see he's going into a staging track. This is another example using the tortoise switch machines and airplane craft, model airplane control cables to throw the switches. Those are the red cables are running over to the switches where they throw them. All the paints. Paint can alley. Okay. This is all the things that go into building your model railroad. Masonite. This is a standard RJ12 cable that you use for internet. Modified. Again, it's cost saving when you get this big and you buy this stuff. It's a way to save money. I don't know if that goes through the wall or not. Okay. All right. Now again, you can see the mushroom effect here, right here. Section is on top of a section that is looking from another aisle. Danville Yard, the beginning of it's on the other side of that wall. Red on the switch panel is the switch is stone. Green is it's centered on the switch control. Again, that switch for the switch machine goes back to a decoder, and it goes through the computer, and then the computer throws the switch. I do the same thing on all my mainline switches. It's the only way you can control it with CTC. The computer's got to run it. This is an example of how to set up a torch machine. He's using the cable to throw the switch. Oh, we're going to run another train. He's showing them on the thing. Okay, so we're pulling another train out of staging. And it will come into the helix to get up, to go out through Denver. We'll follow that train around. Okay, so we got everybody standing here waiting for the next train to arrive. And here it comes.
This would be the Conrail run-through.
Conrail run-through.
In the heyday, in the mid-70s, there was a total of maybe about 40 to 60 trains a day through this section of railroad prototype.
What are they doing today?
Probably more than that. The trains are longer though, you know, and they've also double-tracked a lot of the single-track sections. I don't even want to go up there, it's different now.
So you got any guesses what's going to happen to NS?
Let me go.
What do you use for your signals? Is it Oakdale or Structure?
Proverbial grain train here. By the way, it's all micro-engineering track as far as the main lines. He said it's about 5,000 feet of track. See what you do here when you buy stuff? Let's get some micro-scale engineering equipment.
Yeah, I got a kit there, show all those things, so I ended up building 3 of them just to see if it was going to work out. And then we got to stop because I had
Okay, so you can remove the plastic from the thing.
Yeah,
The
once
guard.
the fascia's painted black, this just disappears.
Yeah. For the signals.
Yeah, from structure. Well, yeah.
Yeah, on his narrow gauge.
Yeah,
Did you ever do anything with that last engine you said you sent off?
Oh yeah, they found a new motor for it that would
okay.
fit right in there.
Yeah.
He said they've been waiting for someone to allow him the time to try, and so yeah, it worked out really well.
He made a couple of really good finds on HON3 stuff on the internet. He made one big steel. Didn't have sound in it. And I called George at Soundtracks and he says, I got 3 units left that fit in that unit. Send it to me. They put it in and sent it back and he's got a unit. An HON3 K27 with sound in it for half what you and I'd have to pay.
This was my first experiment with this. I fought with this idea for a while. I didn't know whether to model both sides of the print.
It looks good.
This was at Kings Mountain, Kentucky, and at Kings Mountain, this was one of the projects that they did in 1960 when they revamped the line in early 60s. We used to have a tunnel. There was a tunnel which is modeled over here on this end.
I saw that
Right there.
Yeah.
And the other end of the tunnel is right here. This is the old, that was old tunnel number 2. I built 4 of them. Only cost me like $5 a piece to make.
9-volt type or?
I've got them, I use a plug-in adapter, a 12 volt. I got them from all electronics, assortment of ion generators, and I just built them all. So, which is actually about I would say at least 9 or 10 trial of these things. I built out that building. I also have one of those. But I like these. I finally settled on around 5,000 or 6,000 volts. Go too much higher than that, and you turn it on the grass gets dry. What I tried to do off one of his bugs things. Yeah, I did one of those too. But those, I don't know, the shopping center.
love my frustrated ones, man.
Yeah, I built a couple of those things and you shoot for $2 to do it. Help the big buy it.
It's hard to frustrate.
Yeah, I think the homemade ones do it. I would like that. I haven't tried the new wood machine. But of course, all of those things, the commercial ones, would be with a safety factor, because they shoot. They go up the
So the bridge here is Burnside, Kentucky. And this is a double track bridge, which, stay tuned. That's all I can say. We'll try to cover its construction if we get the chance.
It's all very sandy.
Well, this is a top coat of it. This is basically concrete.
So 1981, there would not have been any passenger service. Not aware of any Amtrak train that ran down Rathole. I asked Walter. So anyway, we're back to the area of, rough scenery work. So we transitioned out of scenery into rough scenery. And I think you can see the process is very involved. Now, one thing he did say, I'll try to go back and point it out on the finished section. He uses carpet, basic or black carpet, to go on the fascia. So it's not painted.
This is just thin cord wood that you can buy and grab that. Yeah, I got most of it in. There's still a few spots that I need to address, on the other side.
Circuit. When you didn't have LED lighting when you started.
No, everything was 15 and 25 watt bulb. So it was kind of dim.
So now it's all LED.
Now that is,
So what you're seeing here is the train coming up here, and it's going to go into this helix. Well, I take that back. No, it's going to hit the upper deck on the other side of this wall. So as it came out from down there, it's coming over here. This is where you're going to have to learn the where you are. This is South Stearns, and it comes around. And this is where the dispatchers and the workbench is, and it's going over the top. Okay. Then it'll head into the helix. When it comes out the helix, it'll be down here. This is the CTC panel at the Walter Rieger's Rathole division on the Southern Railroad. This is going to be 1981 in the fall. He just completed work on this, and we had a demonstration which will be in my video to show shortly on the Grande Pacific Model Railroad page. This is really getting into a detail aspect of the real railroad into modeling.